You fall asleep completely exhausted, only to snap wide awake in the dark. Your heart is racing, your chest feels suddenly warm, and almost instantly your mind starts churning through tomorrow's to-do list, while you lie there doing the agonizing mental math of how few hours you have left before the alarm goes off. Fast forward to 4 o'clock the next afternoon. You're hit with a heavy cloud of brain fog, and your clothes suddenly feel uncomfortably tight around your waist, a sudden puffy expansion, even if you've eaten nothing but light, clean meals all day. Midnight alertness and afternoon bloating share a single physiological origin, a specific biological misfire. The most maddening part of this cycle is that you haven't changed your routine. You are eating and exercising exactly the way you did a few years ago, but your body is completely resisting your efforts. When a woman crosses the threshold of 40, natural transitions in her internal biology alter how her nervous system processing daily inputs like stress, food, and sleep. To resolve that uncomfortable waistline expansion at 4 p.m., we have to investigate the neurological event happening at 3 in the morning. This is the premise of the 3 a.m. Menopause Belly Reset, a guide showing how your body simply requires a new operating manual. Navigating this new physical reality with outdated instructions creates a biological mismatch, rendering standard diet discipline ineffective. During your 20s and 30s, your sleep cycle naturally dampened minor internal disruptions, but past 40, your sleep architecture shifts. Your periods of deep sleep become shorter, and your vulnerable light sleep windows expand. Now, consider a common routine: eating very light, low-calorie meals during the workday, and then unwinding with a heavier, carbohydrate-rich dinner or a glass of wine. The evening meal causes a sharp blood sugar spike, prompting an insulin response. Hours later, your blood sugar suddenly plummets. To your brain, this energy drop is a survival crisis, signaling the release of cortisol and adrenaline to force stored glucose back into your bloodstream. Adrenaline and cortisol are your body's primary alert chemicals. This sudden internal chemical dump immediately accelerates your heart rate and jolts you awake with a wave of unprovoked panic. The 3 a.m. wake-up is a biological alarm, triggered by an internal energy deficit rather than a psychological worry about work. That lost sleep triggers a domino effect the following morning. You start the day in a state of physiological debt, which keeps your baseline stress signals artificially elevated long after you get out of bed. This schematic of the human digestive tract shows how that continuous drip of stress hormones affects your stomach and intestines. The elevated cortisol physically clamps down on the system, slowing your gastric motility to a crawl. With your digestion moving at a sluggish pace, food sits in the tract longer. This traps gas and retains fluid, causing that sudden, uncomfortable abdominal expansion right around 4 o'clock. When faced with this sudden fullness, the instinct is to fight back by slashing daytime calories, skipping lunch, or forcing yourself through an exhausting cardio workout. Layering starvation and physical exhaustion on a system already under significant strain signals more danger. To protect itself, your body slows its metabolic rate and aggressively holds on to water weight. By attempting to starve away the midsection, you are accidentally pouring fuel onto the exact physiological stress loop that caused your midsection in the first place. To break this cycle, you have to abandon severe calorie restriction and focus entirely on a biological rhythm reset. The first intervention happens within an hour of waking up. Exposing your eyes to natural, outdoor light anchors your master circadian clock and primes your brain for a predictable release of sleep-inducing melatonin later that night. By consuming 50% fibrous vegetables and 25% proteins before slow carbohydrates, you build a protective matrix in your digestive tract. This slows nutrient absorption, creating a stable energy curve that prevents the drastic glucose drops triggering nighttime wake-ups. When you properly nourish your metabolic engine during the daylight hours, you remove the biological need to trigger a survival panic in the middle of the night. Next, you swap the exhausting, stress-spiking cardio routines for joint-friendly resistance training. This builds structural resilience, preserves your calorie-burning muscle tissue, and signals deep systemic safety to your body. These steps form a clear chain reaction. By stabilizing your nocturnal sleep rhythm, you naturally calm your daytime central nervous system. Without those chronic stress signals constantly firing, your gastric motility normalizes. Food moves efficiently through your system, allowing your midsection to remain light, flat, and comfortable long after the workday ends. By adopting a symptom-first approach tailored to your current biology, you are finally reclaiming control of your own body.